Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
What's good, y'all? It's your man Hezo, and welcome back to the Blacktop, where I always got next, you feel me? So Miami in Atlanta, coming out with the W, short-handed Heat team, no Clint Capella once again. A lot to dive into for this game. Subscribe if you are new. We are on our way to 900 subs, and 1,000 is right around the corner. And if y'all want a chance at a jersey giveaway by the end of the year, let's get to 1,000 subs by the end of this year, and I will be doing a jersey giveaway for the winner, a player of your choice, as long as I can find it, a player of your choice. Leave a like on the video. And let's get right into it. Another game, another loss. As y'all see, I don't even have any Hawks gear on, man. I'm so annoyed and I'm so frustrated with the way that this team has been playing. We have so much to figure out. This Atlanta team has so much to figure out. We do not look good, and it's really, I don't even really know how many games it's been gone back now, but over the last like 2 weeks or so, they've squeaked by on a couple wins, and that's fine. But this team just does not look good overall, and we have a lot to figure out. This is a game where Miami was missing Jimmy Butler, Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent. I mean, they were missing a huge portion of their rotation, and just came out in the second half and absolutely flat out dominated Atlanta. And once again, Nate McMillan was out-coached from really the second half until the end of the game, with Spo just out-coaching Nate once again. We've seen it in the playoffs. We saw it again tonight, that Eric Spoelstra is still one of the top 3 coaches in basketball, and no matter who he has playing, he always has guys step up because he's an excellent coach and he believes in his guys. This Atlanta team has looked worse more often than they looked good. They've had a couple of nice wins. Yeah, I get that. We've had wins against Milwaukee and everything like that. But realistically, when you look at the way this season has gone, we're now sitting at 11-9, have lost 2 in a row in 2 games that should have been wins with no excuses. You blew the game against Houston the other night. You blew it against Miami tonight, and the second half again collapsed the entire second half. Miami went into that zone defense, and you would think that this Atlanta team has never seen a zone defense before, that these dudes have never seen a zone defense before when they've been playing in the NBA. Trey had another atrocity game, especially from 3. I don't know. I don't understand what it is against, with this Miami team, but they get into Trey's head, and Trey just feels like he has to continue to jack up threes. The second half was so awful watching because the ball movement stopped. They couldn't make shots. They were turning the ball over. And again, credit to Miami with the second half adjustments that Spo made, because he did it in the playoffs. He did it again tonight. And it just shows you how much of a superior team still, that even with a less record, Miami is still a better team than Atlanta. And it's facts, man. I'm sorry. And Hawks fans, I know some of y'all are probably going to disagree with me. I get it. But listen, man, we are not a contender. We are far from a contender. This team is not a good team right now this year. Yeah, we're sitting above 2 games above 500. We should not be only 2 games above 500. We have given so many games away with just collapses in either the fourth quarter or the second half entirely. Bam just dominated this game from start to finish. And Atlanta, once again, missing Clint Capella, showed that, I'm sorry, and I like Okongwu, and I was really campaigning for him at the beginning of the year, but Okongwu cannot be a starting center on this team. He's too small. Bam was having his way in the paint, and Miami just dominated the paint from start to finish of this game. Bam, another huge game. He just had a 38-point game the other night. Follows it up with another huge game. No Jimmy Butler once again, and Bam just took control and just dominated. Caleb Barton had a huge game off the bench. Atlanta continues to get killed by random role players, and it's very frustrating to watch when you have star players on this Hawks team. You played so well in the first half, and then in the second half, it was a complete different story. Missing shots, turnovers, the ball was sticking. This team plays so, I wouldn't call it selfishly, but they don't move the ball enough. Now, one positive I will take was that John Collins finally really showed up. I mean, he had his best game of the season since the second game of the season. Dre had an overall solid game, but he didn't really get as many touches in the second half. AJ Griffin played poorly in the second half. He had a really good first half. He played absolutely poorly in the second half. He just couldn't make a shot. And that happens. He's a rookie, man. I'm not gonna hold him accountable for that. Nate really just got outcoached. He got outcoached. He tried to switch up the rotation. He put in Trent Forrest in place of Aaron Holiday. Didn't matter. He made no impact. The bench was no impact once again. And I want to ask some of y'all Hawks fans, who are the ones out there that say start Jalen Johnson over John Collins. What are you seeing? Jalen Johnson has done nothing all season long. He's had his moments. I get it. He's had his moments in transition where he has nice flashy dunks and all that, and that's real fun to watch. But Jalen Johnson has not done anything to prove that he can be a starting player or even a quality rotation player in the NBA with what we've seen him so far this season. Oh my goodness, man. A very frustrating loss once again. Credit to the Heat, man. Heat fans, I'm looking for y'all this game. Y'all been riding with me, and I appreciate all the Heat fans have been supporting me. This is y'all's time to shine. This is y'all's time to come at my neck and come at me in the comments. You know I've always given y'all credit, but I thought this game was going to be not a blowout, but I thought Atlanta was going to take control of this game, and it looked like it in the first half, and I thought Atlanta was going to come out with a big win. We didn't do that. At some point, something's got to give, either with Nate being the coach or adjustments are going to have to be made to the style of play that the brand of Hawks basketball is just not good. It's all isolation. The ball sticks. There's not enough ball movement. There's a reason why Atlanta's at the bottom of the league in passes per game. I get Trey's at the top in assists, and DeJounte gets assists and all that. That's fine. But when you look at the overall flow of the offense, it doesn't flow. They don't run offensive sets. They don't run off-ball screens. Guys are struggling to get open, and that's part of the reason why Atlanta has been so poor from the three-point line this season, heavily missing a guy like Bogdanovic. I can't wait to get him back, but at what point is it going to be too late, and Atlanta's going to be sellers at the deadline? I mean, they've dropped now several games of the last 10. And we started the season pretty hot, and it just seems like it's the same thing that happened last season with a collapse. I would have thought that DeJounte Murray would have been turning this team around, but it just seems like every single time that it's just either Trey or DeJounte on the floor without one another, they feel like they have to do everything themselves, and they don't get other guys involved. And maybe that's part of that is because of how bad our bench is outside of Adrian Griffin. Obviously tonight he didn't have a good second half, but the bench unit has been so bad this season for this team, and it's a big problem right now. And Atlanta's going to either have to make a move at the trade deadline or just bank on Bogdanovic coming back. But even still, man, Bogdanovic is coming back off a knee injury. You can't expect him to be extremely efficient and extremely great coming off his injury. He's going to take some games to get back into a rhythm, to get back his legs under him. It's going to take a while for Bogdanovic to get going. Frustrating loss, man. I don't even know what to say anymore with this team. Again, I didn't even do a full recap of this game because, again, it was just another second half collapse, and Miami clamped up on defense and just made adjustments while Atlanta just kept trying the same thing, and it just was not working. The zone defense just broke Atlanta's offense entirely, and Nate made no adjustments. He made absolutely no adjustments. Trey was, again, I've already mentioned this, Trey had another terrible game where he just kept shooting the deep three, and it was not falling. John Collins had a nice game. I've already touched on that. Great to see him get going, not really settling for a three. He did, I think, take a couple threes. He did hit one. That was nice to see, but he was getting to the rim and getting to his mid-range hook shot and mid-range jump shot. Very nice to see for JC. Had one of his better games of the season, so hopefully we can, that'll carry over to the next game for him in Philly on Monday. I'm gonna pretty much leave it there, man. There's not really much more for me to go into about this game. Hawks fans, I know you're just as frustrated as I am because it's at some point something's got to give and something has to change because whatever it is that they're doing is not working. It's not working, and I'm not specifically talking about the DeJounte trade. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general with this team, something's not working, and they need to figure it out. You got to look to Nate McMillan. Listen, man, he's got to be on the hot seat. I know we're still over 500. We're still a winning team. He has to be on the hot seat at this point. He's just not making adjustments. The rotations are still bad. The bench unit has been bad. And a lot of this is coaching, man. Because when you look at the other side of the Heat, when you see a coach like Spoelstra with the lack of talent that they had tonight, you can see what a team can do when they are well coached. And Atlanta doesn't have that. I'm sorry, we don't have that. We need it. I'm really hoping that something changes here going forward, or else Atlanta's going to be in big trouble, and we're going to be another play-in team and another first-round exit. That's what we have on the horizon. If Atlanta Atlanta continues to play this style of play and this style of basketball that we've played all year, which is not equated to enough wins, and it's equated to games where we should have won, where we either collapsed in the second half or just got blown out the water in general. That's all I got, man. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. What did y'all think about this game? I'm very frustrated. I'm sorry for that, but I'm just so tired of it. So let me know what y'all think. Leave a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.